college students, you have all taken a history class at some point in your lives, whether it was way back when in high school or here is a gen ed course at Ambrose. We all know the basics of the U.S. government, and most of you could probably give me a definition of democracy. But would it be right? According to the New York Times, today only 30% of millennials think it is essential to live in a democracy, whereas when the same question was asked of the same age bracket in the 1930s, 75% said it was essential. So as you can see, the definition may have gotten a little muddled over the years. So in order to clear up the confusion and for you to better understand the concept of democracy, I will define it and explain a few examples of some characteristics. Democracy in brief, a document released by the U.S. Secretary of State, says that democracy is a government in which the supreme power is vested in the people, and in large societies it is by the people through their elected agents. So in other words, democracy as a government by the people is almost not possible considering how most countries and societies are too large, making it difficult for each individual voice to be heard. That is why there are different types of democracies, which I'll explain next. First, a direct democracy is where all citizens, without the intermediary of elected or appointed officials, can participate in making public decisions. And obviously this is only possible in small group settings or small village gatherings. You've all been sitting in class at McCarthy or McMullen, and the teacher asked if you would rather have the homework due on Tuesday or Thursday. They asked you to raise your hands to vote for which day you would prefer. This is an example of direct democracy because you get to directly state your opinion by raising your hand for whichever choice you want. Another example of this on a larger scale is tax referendums. Come election day, you get to vote yes or no, and your individual vote counts because you're saying yes or no. When you elect your student government officials on Blackboard, that is not direct democracy because you will not get an individual say in the student government meetings. You can talk to them and you can give them your opinions, but your individual voice will not be heard. And this is also on a bigger scale with our senators and representatives. You can call and you can tell them your opinion, but your individual voice will not be heard because they have to represent all of their constituents. Next, in a representative democracy, citizens elect officials to make political decisions, formulate laws, and administer programs for the public good. This is the type of democracy most often practiced today. So imagine you're sitting in that same classroom in McCarthy or McMullen. Your teacher asks you to form groups and choose a spokesperson or a group leader so that 20 to 30 people aren't shouting at him or her. And even though not everyone in the group may have the same opinion, the spokesperson still has to say something, so he gives a majority vote. And this is representative democracy because even if you had a different opinion, your individual voice is not heard. And then this is also the type of government we use in the U.S. with our senators and representatives because they vote on our behalves in Congress. You all know about the tuition increases over the years at St. Ambrose, but were you ever asked about them? The president and the board of directors made a decision, and while I'm sure they had our best interests at heart, there was no democracy system in place when the decision was made. So that's why it is not representative democracy, because no one had a voice for us. This is also true for types of government like communism and totalitarianism, because there is little to no voting, and even if there is voting, it's skewed so that there is no representation of the common man. So today I defined for you the concept of democracy, and even if you may have already had an idea of what it was, I hope this cleared it up for you. Many wise men have set out to define and lead a democracy, but Abraham Lincoln said it best as a government of the people, by the people, and for the people.